Obama, shut the F up. Did you know that there's a hashtag going on right now on Twitter? Yeah. That is what's going on right now. And um, Obama had a very interesting speech that he had.
I know why sometimes folks just get tired, and maybe they say, I'm not going to bother voting this time. But here's the thing, we can't afford to be tired. I remember in 2016, folks said, I'm not inspired. Obama was okay, but we didn't get everything I wanted, so I'm just going to sit it next time. And y'all know how that turned out. That's what happens when you're not paying attention. That's what happens when you become complacent.
See, here's the thing. We're not paying attention, and we're not complacent. Are we tired? Yes, we are definitely tired. But we're tired of lies that keep coming from people like Obama. You see, there was a big promise that Obama had when he was running. And that promise was of actual change. Remember, he was the hope and change guy. But he said, oh, well, we got to believe in hope and change and things will come. Not much has really changed. In fact, for some people, things actually got worse. Now, let me put the disclaimer out there to anybody that's watching. I am not a right winger. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. Far from it. Just to let you know where I stand, to me, liberals are right wingers. Democrats are in the same party as Republicans. So, yeah. And for Obama to talk about complacency and people being tired, I mean, wasn't it in an email that was revealed by WikiLeaks that Hillary Clinton did what was called the Pied Piper strategy, and that strategy was to make 3 candidates who were running in the Republican primary the main scope of what people looked at because they were just quote unquote so bad. One of them being Donald Trump. So we're tired because of the antics that people like your colleague, your former Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, that's what she did. Yeah, so that wasn't, just some person who just came out, out of coincidence, that won. It really was. Trump was just a fool. He was a fool. And Hillary Clinton saw an opportunity. And so she tried to capitalize on it. And it blew up right in her face. And then we suffered for 4 years. She didn't suffer. She's still a millionaire. She's still a multimillionaire and still living the life. And she's still buddies with Trump, even though she'll say things in front of the cameras, but behind closed doors, they're all friends. What did George Carlin say? It's a big club and you ain't in it. None of us are. So, yeah.
Action. We cannot afford to be tired because of the young people here and the ones who are coming. I know it's hard. Phil doesn't claim he's going to solve every problem in New Jersey right away. I didn't solve every problem when I was president. But the fact is that as hard as it is, we can still make it better.
If, Obama, look at what happened. The guy that promised hope and change. And we're literally trying to get out in the streets. And what happened with the NBA? He literally just made a phone call when we had a means to have a spark for a general strike. He killed it. All because, what, he just wanted to see the games? He felt it was unnecessary. He got in the way. And every single time something starts to spark, he gets in the way. Why? Because he's in the club. It's a big club and you ain't in it. So, yeah. Sorry about that, but yeah. I didn't say this was going to be a clean stream. It's kind of messy, but needless to say, we shall press on.
It's hard to undo the legacy of discrimination that goes back centuries, but we can make it better. It's hard to deal with special interests who want to keep the status quo when you're trying to make the economy more fair and just, but you can make it better. It's hard in a big country where people disagree to get everybody moving in the same direction, but we can do better than we're doing. We really can. We can make it better. And when you've got the right person in the job, we might not get every single person employed, but we can get more people, more jobs.
So here's the thing. Obama is basically saying, look, if I stabbed you in the back, a 6-inch knife in the back, and I pulled it out 3 inches, I mean, at least I pulled out 3 inches, right? We made it better, kinda. No, no, that doesn't fly. What the hell is type of bullshit is that? You made it better? No, you didn't. Look, how much wealth did Black people lose when you came in office? How many people died in foreign countries? You turn 2 wars into 7. Is that making it better? You promised universal health care. Bullshit. Did that happen? No. You know what happened? You took a right-wing healthcare plan and implemented that. You couldn't even get a public option. Make it better. Come on. You didn't make it better. Gosh. And then people will say, well, the Republicans were attacking him. No. Look, did Mitch McConnell say, oh, we're going to make sure he's a one-term president? Duh. Yeah, he did say that. But he's talking about a man that had the White House, a majority in Congress, and a super majority in the Senate. He could have gotten so much done, but he wanted to work with Republicans. They're the opposition party, Barack. What part of opposition do you not understand? Like, are you serious right now? Come on. All right, let's continue.
We may not get every child the best education in the world right here in Newark. We can give a lot more kids better education here in Newark.
How about all kids? How about all? Not some, all. Because it literally could be done. And while we're at education, why don't we cancel all student debt? All of it. Not 20,000, not 10,000, not 50,000, not 70,000. All. Because it can be done with a stroke of a pen. All the president has to do is direct the education secretary to do it. That's it. It's not even a flick of the stroke of a pen. It's just tell him, be like, look, dude, cancel it all. Yes, Mr. President. Boom. Do you know how many lives you could improve just with that one thing? Why aren't you talking to Biden about that? I mean, you could have done it, but since you didn't do it, why not talk to Biden about it? Why not try to fix your legacy? You're not interested in that, are you?
Get every American health care, but boy, we got a whole lot more people in America health care. It makes a difference when we decide to make things better. When you've got somebody in your corner who's shown you that they will work for you, who has a track record of accomplishment. You got to go out there and work for them. Not because everything's going to suddenly be perfect, but because it's going to be better.
People are working, but they're not working for politicians right now. They're actually working in direct action on the ground and giving mutual aid to people who absolutely need it, because these politicians have not done a damn thing for anybody else. So therefore, we don't need them. What we need is actual people on the ground. Now, if you want to talk about people who are doing things on the ground at a more local level, yeah, people like Shama Sawant in, Seattle, she's doing great things for people. And yes, she's an elected person, but she's on the ground and she's in a local office. But other than that, these big name politicians, governors, senator, representatives, they're not doing anything. If they really actually did something, you actually would see change. But you don't. And so maybe this is the part of capitalism where it shows that it's just failing, and we just have to let it fail. Maybe. But we're not going to sit here and kid ourselves and think that, anybody who's running like this is actually helping us. They're just maintaining the status quo. They're just status quo managers. That's all they are. And that's what you are.
And you're preventing others from making it worse.
No. No. So, yeah. Obama? Yeah, no. Sit down. Sit all the way down, bro. Because you're making things worse. And so a lot of times people will, say things like, oh, Obama, he did, a lot of great things.
And so they'll talk about, the things that he did regarding, I don't know, different policies. I don't even feel like looking up the policies that everybody says that he did that was so great. But I will do this. I'll show you the things that he actually did. Because he is not he's not by any means innocent. People will talk about, oh, he has no scandals. No, he has scandals. It's just people weren't looking. What are the scandals? Okay, so the Obama years, 5 million deportations. People talk about, oh, well, Trump, he was deporting so many people, and he was a xenophobic. Look at Obama. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying one is just as bad as the other. I'm saying they're both horrible. 5 million deportations, 563 drone strikes. How many innocent civilians died at the hands of this man? Sit down, Obama. 10,000 plus missions. Did you know that we have over 800 military bases around the world. We have over 4 times as many bases as we do. I'm sorry. Yeah, over 4 times as many bases as we do countries. We have enough bases. We have enough bases to put 4 bases in each country in the world. Every single one. That's imperialism. Nothing more, nothing less. Um, Remember when I talked about turn 2 wars into seven? Libya, Syria, Yemen, Pakistan, and Somalia. Oh, by the way, Ilhan Omar is from Somalia. Ilhan, got anything to say about that? Um, Trillions in bailouts. Yeah, the banks got bailed out. The banks. We were in, at the time, one of the worst economic crises since the Great Depression. And the people didn't really get bailed out. The corporations, the banks got bailed out. Well, so much for hope and change, right? Guantanamo Bay still open. Did you know that? Yeah, I mean, he released a few prisoners, but it's still open. Wasn't one of his campaign promises said that he was going to close Gitmo? Hmm. Oh, he also said that he was against the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, but we're still there too. In fact, we're still there, and I don't care if people say, "Well, Biden pulled out." No, he didn't. Drones are still flying over Afghanistan as we speak and bombing people. Targeted missions. Yeah, right. No, no targeted missions. In fact, I'll argue this: if you have a military base in a different country, you're still at war. You're still at war. 800 military bases around the world. We're still at war in Germany. We're still at war in France. We're still at war in Korea. All the African countries still at war in the global south. So we're still at war in all these places, which means that the United States is essentially at war with the world. The United States is fighting the world. And the world is trying to, the people, by what I mean the world, they are trying to rise up and create a more compassionate and peaceful world. And the United States is standing in the way. 1,000 Democratic seats lost. Yep, that was back in 2010. Lost over 1,000 seats because if Obama had did what a lot of us on the left wanted to do, number one, we wouldn't have lost that many seats. Number one. Number two, um, yeah, they would have tagged him as some socialist president, but the people would have made out a hell of a lot better, and we wouldn't have lost that many seats at all. I mean, of course, some Democrats probably would have left the party if he had did that because, well, most of them are, right wingers. They're Republicans. In heart, they're just Democrat in name, but Democrats and Republicans are all part of the same party, and that's why they lost 1,000 seats. And if those 1,000 seats got lost from Democrats, then where did they go? They didn't go to anyplace else but the other party. So guess who gained those seats? Right wingers, Republicans, because they're all on the same team. He cut food stamps. Thanks, Obama. I'm hungry. I get food stamps. So that happened. Anti-LGBTQ, LG, sorry, I can't speak today. Anti-LGBTQ laws passed. Does Flint still have clean water? Do they? Did they ever get clean water? Are they still drinking out of bottles there? How'd that water taste, Obama, when you went to Flint? Did it taste good? Housing prices soared. A lot of black people lost homes. Black wealth tanked under Obama. Yeah. Was he his brother's keeper, as that policy that he tried to implement was? Uh-uh. No. Because if he would have, then he wouldn't have bailed out the banks. He would have bailed out the people. And that in turn would have bailed out the banks anyway, because people would have paid their mortgages. The mortgages would have got paid. They would have saved their homes. But instead, he bailed out the banks and then screwed over everybody else, including black people. Crackdowns on whistleblowers? Hello, Edward Snowden. Come on. And Edward Snowden tried to tell us about the NSA spying on us, which was true. They were spying on us. Do you like being spied on? People are like, well, if you don't have anything to hide, then you shouldn't worry about it. But do you still condone being spied on? You still want your privacy violated? Sounds kind of weird to me. BP oil spill? Oh man, that thing was massive. By the way, we're still having oil spills, not just from uh, offshore drilling, but also pipelines right now. This is why we are protesting Line 3, because we do not want oil spills on land of indigenous people. The Panama Papers were released. Saudi Arabia is a genocidal country that is anti LGBTQ and anti woman. And yet, people like Obama, Trump, and Biden are all lackeys for them. Very interesting. Why? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oil. Right. Instead of aggressively moving towards renewables, we're still clinging to oil. By the way, Biden loves fracking, and he's not going to give it up, which in turn still destroys our environment. Oh, and Obama also removed fracking regulations. And Biden approved fracking permits. Regime change in Libya. Now Libya has slave markets where it didn't have before. Thanks, Obama. So 20 million people losing homes. So when Obama talks about people are tired, yes, we are tired. We are tired of people like you who continue to push this narrative that all we need to do is just vote and then things will magically change. And he'll probably be like, well, no, I didn't say things will magically change. They'll just get better. And it's like, yeah, no, they haven't gotten better either. So when you look at what people like Obama have done or failed to do, you get to a point where you start to realize, yeah, people stopped voting. Yeah, people checked out. Of course, they're sick and tired of this system. Like I am too. I don't blame them. And so you're gonna sit here and tell all these people all they need to do is just vote. Don't boo, vote. No, how about we get our feet in the streets, feed people, clothe people, house people, take care of each other because you failed to do so. What do I know? I'm just a silly socialist, right? So, what is a solution? There are tons of people right now in many different areas striking across the country. They are demanding living wages, better working conditions. I would actually like to see more renter strikes, more uh, renters unions. I would love to see that. And I would like to see all that culminate together to be a general strike so that we can let the people who rule over the politicians, the corporations and wealthy, know where they can shove it. And then we can make our demands and they have to acquiesce to whatever we demand. There are many different avenues that you guys can go to. There's mutualaidhub.org, which is a great resource. I'll be sure to put that in the description. Um, and go there to see about mutual aid. Shout out to Quaker Socialist for cluing me in on that wonderful website. And mutual aid just doesn't have to be giving money. Mutual aid could be offering services for free for people who need it. Are you great at computers? Are you great at building websites? Do you have a car where you can take people to work? Do you have time, and patience that you can watch somebody's kids while they go to work? Uh, can you teach people different things? Like, are you a guy that is a master mechanic? Can you hold a mechanics class to help people to be able to fix their own cars so that they won't have to depend so much on trying to use money to fix their own cars? Simple things, simple little tasks fixing your car. Or can you take some time to donate your time to fix somebody's car who's in desperate need? Do you have a large van to take people to work or take people to protests? Do you know how to garden? Do you have a garden? Are you planting foods that you can offer to your neighbors so that they can save money on food costs? This is mutual aid. They won't save us. We have to save ourselves. So yeah, um, this is Jaybefaunt show. This is where we're going. Also, please be sure to if you guys like my content, you know, buy me a coffee. You can go to kofi.com/JBFont. It's in the ticker down here below, and you guys can contribute there. Also, you guys can go to my Twitter page and give me a follow. That'd be great. Um, you're watching the JB Show.